Hi everyone. Today this is Unit 9, Week 1, Day 4 lesson. We're going to be making opinions and writing reviews based on your summary. You will need your reader's response notebook, so please have that ready to go. Today's learning targets are: you will form opinions about text read independently, add opinion paragraphs to summaries, read independently for up to 30 minutes, give reasons for your opinions, and discuss their opinions respectfully. And again, you will need your reader's response notebook. So on Tuesday, you heard the story Zoo. And on Wednesday, we summarized together during our group time. We summarized and wrote a review. And if you didn't do Zoo, we talked about the different books that you have read, and we summarized it, and then we wrote a review, your opinion, and your different, if you were interested in it or if you would recommend the book. So we're going to go on from all of that. Before we begin writing a review, you have to think about factors. And factors are things you need to think about in order to make a decision. All the things that weigh out, like pros and cons, what's involved. Those are your different factors that you have to think about before forming your opinion. So let's talk about fiction first. Okay, factors to consider when forming an opinion. So the first one, does the story make me want to keep reading? Okay, why? Why is a story so good that you want to keep reading it? What is interesting about the characters and the conflicts they face? Does the story have action, suspense, humor, mystery? How is this shown throughout the book? What is unexpected in the plot? Does it have a lot of twists? Does it have like, oh, that was unexpected, right? What is interesting about the setting? What are the story's themes, messages, lessons, or important questions? And how does the story make me feel? These are all different factors to consider when forming an opinion about fiction texts. Now we're going to talk about nonfiction texts. And here are factors that you should consider about nonfiction text. What is interesting about the topic? Does the text make me want to keep reading? Why? Does the text answer some of my questions about this topic? How? How does it answer? Right? Does it make me curious to know more? Should I find out more about it? About what? Does the text use text features? How do they help me learn about the topic? And remember, text features, photographs, drawings, models, bold print, table of contents, glossary. Those are all things that help me to learn a little bit more about the topic. How is the information presented? Is it clearly presented, or is it in a confusing way? So now you're thinking about all these different factors that are involved in making up your mind, forming an opinion about nonfiction text. All right, so let's open up your reader's response books to page 82 and 83. At the top, you should see it says summary of. This is your own text, what you are reading. It doesn't matter if it's a novel, it doesn't matter if it's a picture book. Whatever book you are reading or article or whatever, you need to write it on this blank line. So summary of your title of the book. Please do that. Now you are going to write a summary using your important ideas, right? And you are going to Think about the important ideas and base your summary on those ideas. And what's been helpful for some of us, we've been using transitional words. So you can say the beginning is somebody, or you can even say first, depending on if you're reading a non-fiction book, right? Somebody. Then you can say wanted, then but, so, and then finally. These words are simply to help you get your summary written down quickly using your important idea. Going down over here, when I said you can use first, then you can maybe use next, you can use then, some use so, and then the last one can be the same as finally. Like I said, transitional words help you stay focused from the very beginning of your story to the end of your story, or whatever part you read. So use these transitional words to keep your sentences short, and so that you get your important ideas written down. Remember, you don't want to write detail after detail after detail. That is not a summary, only important ideas. So it really should be about 5 sentences. If you have not written your summary, you need to do that before we continue on. So please stop, write your summary of whatever text that you've read, and then come back, and then we can start your opinion review. Before I ask you to write your opinion or your review of your text, I want to read a review of the zoo. And remember, this is a story that we read on Wednesday. Review of zoo. On Monday. This science fiction story by Edward D. Hawke about a zoo of the future has a surprising ending. The story begins when a spaceship lands in Chicago. Inside is Professor Hugo's interplanetary zoo. Each year, the professor brings creatures from faraway planets, to Earth for people to see. Inside the barred cages this year are the horse spider people of Khan. Strange and frightening horse-like animals that climb their cage walls like spiders. Thousands of horrified and fascinated earthlings file by to see the creatures. But when Professor Hugo returns the creatures to their own planet, you discover that the horse spider people had some thoughts of their own about the earthlings. This is a review based on the summary, right, that we had written about and talked about the zoo, and then this is their opinion. Notice how it doesn't give away any kind of the shock at the ending or the surprises in between. And nowhere in this review are there like, he said this, and then this happened, and then this happened. Remember, a review is short. A review states things from the very beginning to the end, and it's your opinion. All right, now it's time to write your opinion. So reread your summary that you just wrote in your Reader's Response notebook. And go ahead and reread the factors to consider when forming an opinion chart. And I've listed those 2 on the bottom, so take time to, I'm going to quick read them again to you. About fiction, factors to consider when forming an opinion. Does the story make me want to keep reading? Why? What is interesting about the characters and the conflicts they face? Does the story have action, suspense, humor, mystery? How is this shown? What is unexpected in the plot? What is interesting about the settings? What are the story's themes, messages, lessons, or important questions? And how does the story make me feel? So those are all factors for fiction. For nonfiction factors, what is interesting about the topic? Does the text make me want to keep reading? Why? Does the text answer some of my questions about this topic? How? Does it make me curious to know more? About what? Does the text use text features? And how do they help me learn about the topic? How is the information presented clearly, in a confusing way? So now, those are the different factors, whether you're reading a fiction book or a nonfiction book. I want you to think if you would recommend the text that you have just read and wrote a summary for. Would you recommend it or not? And why? Now, number 4 says talk with your partner, but obviously you are not going to be talking with a partner, but instead you are going to say your thoughts out loud. The reason that I want you to say it out loud before you write is because when you hear your thoughts in your thinking, it just is so much better and it's more clear, and then you know what to write. Add an opinion paragraph to your summary. Begin the paragraph with, I recommend this text because, or I don't recommend this text because. And if you need more like examples of how a review sounds, go read Mrs. Buell's review and the Jesse Owens review. All right, so look at the factors again and then come up with your opinion. I am also going to have the factors for fiction and nonfiction on Schoology, so then you can look at those as you are writing in your reader's response notebook. All right, now you are going to show me what you wrote. So you are going to upload your reader's response pages, which includes your summary and your review. So please take a picture of those pages and load it to the media album that I have set up in Schoology. Thank you. Have a great day.